segment, man. And in memory, in honor, in explosions of this weekend being the release of the final Mission Impossible movie, we're going to do top 5 favorite Tom Cruise films. Like Dustin said a little bit earlier, this man is such an interesting character, but he makes good movies.
He
Let's be
does.
honest about it. He is kind of Mr. Blockbuster, and I can't knock him for it, to be honest. Like, I'm not sure within the last 10 or 20 years he's been on a movie set that wasn't at least $50 million budget.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah.
man is like top of the line, big money, big draw.
Without doubt. And listen, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have real problems with how he does his personal life, things he
Yeah.
believes in. But there's one thing you cannot argue about the man. He loves movies. He
does.
loves the movie industry. He loves big screen theaters, and he is passionate about making movies for the big screen. He's been doing it for half a century now, if you can believe that. And and he, like you said, because of that passion, he makes good movies. Like, just ignore the other stuff. Just, he makes great movies. And yeah. So the real question is, did our faves change? Because he's had a couple of new ones out in between. The last time we did this list, did they make the list? Did they make us bump some stuff? Or did we keep them exactly the same? Let's dive in and find out.
That's right, man. That's right. My number 5 goes to something completely outside of the box that Tom Cruise does not do. Musicals. That's right. If y'all didn't know, Tom Cruise did a musical, and it is called Rock of Ages, which is basically about young rock stars, or at least young musicians, trying to become rock stars when Tom Cruise is already that established rock star, basically, that everybody wants to get in contact with, that they want to have a conversation to help put them on, give them game, and be able to help mold their careers. And of course, Tom Cruise's character does not give a shit, does not care about these young kids. And it's been so long since I've seen it, so I can't even remember if his singing was good or not. But I just wanted to put this on there because it is so different from what he is known for, and good for him and good for the producers to get him on this to do something completely different. But Rock of Ages, is it good? Probably not. It probably does not hold up well, but I remember it coming out in, like, I think early 2010s, and it was, a film that came out in early 2010s. But like I said, it's different. But yeah, number 5 for me, Rock of Ages.
It was definitely different, and kudos to him for taking a risk. Yeah, some people will say it paid off, some people will say it did not, but he took a risk. Like I said, the guy loves to make movies, and he puts himself out there. So my number 5 is basically Top Gun at the bar. That's really what this film is. It's about a young, cocky bartender who thinks he knows everything. He wants to start his own business, and he starts working at a bar with a guy who's been doing it forever. And side note, the guy who's been doing it forever is a con man who steals our young, cocky bartender's idea in the end of it, the gist of the movie. But it's really fun. You see Tom Cruise, and he's learning from the old mentor guy about how to toss the bottles and do fancy tricks and moves as he's pouring the drinks, and how he interacts with the crowd and the patrons and everything. And it's really, like I said, it's like Top Gun, but set at a bar. The character is very similar to Maverick in how he's cocky and he thinks he knows everything, but he learns, and he falls in love with a hot blonde played by Elizabeth Shue. It's very similar. And it came out not too far distant around the same time, too. So, but it was all in. I think it was, he was riding high, almost at the peak of his popularity at the point that this movie came out. And you couldn't go to much like when Top Gun came out, everybody had aviator glasses and everybody wanted to sign up to be a naval aviator. Well, in Cocktail, you couldn't go to a single bar and not see bartenders trying to do the fancy. Yeah, unfortunately, they were spilling it all over their people because they couldn't do it. But it sparked a boom for bars at the time. So that just tells you the power of Tom Cruise. It's like, oh, okay, let's do this kind of stuff. Look, is it an Oscar winner? No. Is it the greatest story ever written? No. But it's fun. If you like just a fun, good time, laugh out loud type of a movie where and Elizabeth Shue hot as fuck, this is your movie. Cocktail, my number 5.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, in honor of it being Mission Impossible's last weekend, one of us had to put it on there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
number 4 for me is the original Mission
yeah.
Impossible, which was fun. It was catchy. It was one of those things where you're like, "Oh my goodness, did the government betray Ethan Hunt?" Ah, like the iconic theme song, the action sequences, the explosion. It is basically anything and everything you would want from a Tom Cruise action movie. But then I went to the second one, and the second one is god awful. So I made it a point to try to watch all of the Mission Impossibles, but then after the bad taste of the second one, I have
Mm.
not gone back to the franchise. But I do enjoy the first Mission Impossible movie, so I wanted to put that on the list at least.
I will say you should jump on 3 and keep going.
Yeah,
Two, they tried to capitalize, in my opinion, too quickly on 1, and it
yeah.
was rushed and it was bad. 3 recovers. 4 a little bit, and the last one prior to this new one coming out was the best in my opinion. It was fantastic. So yeah, I'd say give it a shot. Jump back on and give it a shot. I think you'll see it rebounds pretty nicely. And
Yeah,
I just
it's funny because a little side story. I went when I was in high school, or at least right after I graduated high school. I went and saw Southpaw in the theaters with Jake Gyllenhaal
mhm.
and loved it. It was great. But then I was walking out and I was walking through the theater to go out of an exit that wasn't the main lobby, and I just saw a whole bunch of people walking into another theater. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. So I walk in there, and it's one of the massive theaters, and this before you had assigned seating. So I was like terrified if somebody was going to come in and catch me. But then I had no idea what movie I was about to watch. I was just going in completely blind, and I had never seen any Mission Impossible before. But I think this was Mission Impossible 5. I think so. I sat there and watched Mission Impossible 5, a true back-to-back feature, a double feature. So that was really fun. That's one of my best memories.
Yeah, yeah, and who hasn't? We've all done it. We've all been there. We all sneak into a movie. Come on, don't
I
lie.
know.
Don't lie. You know you have. Oh, there's no doubt about it. My number 4 was an Oscar-worthy film, was an Oscar-worthy performance, and really changed the game. This was something unlike anything Tom Cruise had ever done before. This was drastically different. Still a cocky young guy, because he seems to like those characters, but in a manner so drastically different than how we had seen him before. And I'm, of course, talking about Rain Man, the unbelievable film where he's a hotshot car dealer, and he's in some financial trouble, and he finds out that dad died and left a ton of money, but he left it to the brother. Uh-oh, oops. And he tries to swindle his brother Raymond out of the money, who is autistic, and severely autistic, but functional. And he goes with the intention, of course, if you guys don't know this, what the fuck, where have you been? But he goes with the intention of bringing the brother back and basically stealing the money from him. But duh, he falls in love with Ray, and he bonds with him, and he doesn't want to take the money from him anymore, and they figure out a way to make it all work and save the dealership without screwing over Ray. And again, I've said this numerous times, but the thing that we all take away from the movie the most is that Kmart sucks. That's
Kmart
it.
does suck.
Kmart sucks, and 97X is the future of rock and roll. If you don't take those two things away from Rain Man, you didn't watch Rain Man. That's all I'm saying, okay? Yeah, my number 4, Rain Man, a classic. I love it. And how many people didn't suit up with their best friend in the same shit? Right? Yeah, you know you did. It was another thing. It's like, let's dress alike and go hit an escalator. Doesn't have to be in Vegas, just any fucking where. We'll go in the mall. It'll be great.
Exactly. The counting cards part is probably
Oh,
my favorite. I
yeah.
absolutely love it. It's a great film that I just watched a couple years ago for the first time, and I'm super glad I did. And I love how other movies like pay tribute to it, like with The Hangover,
Yeah. Yeah.
with Zach Galifianakis and Bradley Cooper's character. It's one of those classics, man. It's definitely one of those classics. Number 3 for me is definitely one of those classics that I feel like you can't do today, but you can't touch and you can't cancel because it is wild, it's unique, it's out there, but it is amazing. And I'm talking about Tropic Thunder. Okay, Tropic Thunder is absolutely wild. Tom Cruise in this part is absolutely wild because when you think of Tom Cruise, you don't think comedy. And
No.
I guess Ben Stiller like didn't even think he was going to get Tom Cruise for this agent type of role. But then he said yes. Tom Cruise said yes because sometimes he does take those chances, like with Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
So I love this film. I love Tom Cruise's part in this film because it's so different. It's so weird. It's so cheesy. It's so like sleazy Hollywood. And he has a bald cap on with glasses and
And
he's
he's
fat
fat.
and it's
Yeah. Yeah.
hilarious. Like,
It's
but I mean,
Les
this movie,
Grossman, right? Like, I think that's the
yeah,
name. Yeah.
yeah. Like, I mean, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., freaking Tom Cruise. Like, this movie has it all. It is so freaking crazy. And it's one of those, like I said, that is so important to its time and is so important to the comedy genre because, like, it's something that is on Mount Rushmore of comedies because it's so crazy out there and unapologetic, and that's what we need in the comedy space and in Hollywood in general. But yeah, number three for me, Tropic Thunder.
Look, how powerful is Tom Cruise's performance in this film? You listed it as a Tom Cruise film.
That's what
It's
I'm
literally
saying.
a
Like,
cameo. His
yeah,
role is literally a cameo. It's like 5 minutes, and that's all you see him in. But it's so good and so powerful. You list it as a Tom Cruise film.
have
The
to.
dancing is it's
Yeah,
oh
like
so over the top. You have to put it. But you're right. What's that makes it stand out? And it is a hardcore look at sleazy producers. Tom Cruise's Les is a sleazy producer, and it's definitely a slap at the industry. But the whole movie is. It makes fun of mentally challenged people. It makes fun of. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is in blackface. Okay, I mean,
literally.
let's be honest. This movie would never see the light. It would never get greenlit now. It would
Yeah,
be canceled before it even got off the page. Like it
right,
was so. Yeah, and good luck finding it. If you can find it, you're probably in luck because it's probably been edited and cleaned and chopped. It ain't even the
right.
same movie anymore. But if you can find an original cut of it, I highly recommend it. My number three, I tell you what it is, but you can't handle the truth. A Few Good Men. While I didn't list this as my favorite Tom Cruise movie, it probably is my favorite Tom Cruise performance. Um, I just think this is anybody. Keep in mind that this is definitely, in my opinion, the right at the cusp of the peak of Jack Nicholson's career before the fade off. Right, because he started to fade off after this one, started taking less and less roles. He was starting to lose it a little bit after this, but this was like Jack at his best. This is Chinatown Jack. This is like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, like at his best. And for Tom Cruise, who at that point is still a relatively young actor, to go head to head with him in that courtroom scene should tell you a lot about the acting ability of Tom Cruise. He was not scared. He was not. And it was a masterful scene. The whole movie was masterful. And yeah, A Few Good Men. I don't have to tell you the premise. You know it. You've seen it. There's no way you haven't seen it. Just a brilliant, brilliant performance. And that's why I have it on my list as one of my all-time favorite films of Tom Cruise, because it's just so fucking good. I mean,
Yeah, completely agree. I wanted to put that one on my list, but I didn't want to repeat too many of movies that he's done. But yeah, it's so good. Aaron Sorkin's writing, man, it literally makes me
fucking
cry
phenomenal.
because it's so freaking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, great pick, man. Great pick. Number two for me is just Maverick entering in the danger zone because I did not grow up in the 80s. I grew up in the early 2000s. I was born in 96. I am now old because I'm 29. But anyway, it's fine. But Maverick, I think this film, one, it saved the blockbusters. It saved the box office during the pandemic. It did record-breaking numbers. It brought people back to the cinemas. So it's a historic, monumental film on that standpoint. But Tom Cruise is now entering in this point in his career and his life where he is the older character, the mentor, not the badass. And that is kind of what this film portrayed. I mean, he's still a badass. I mean, when he gets in that freaking fighter pilot, like you're just like, yeah. But anyway, what this film did for cinephiles, what it did for the massive audience, the public, like basically anyone and everyone who loves going to the theaters to get an adrenaline rush, this film brought it. And it's an amazing story. Teller, Glenn Powell, so many others in this freaking thing. It's just one of my all-time favorites, so I had to put that in there. But yeah, number two for me, Maverick, and I know you're piggybacking off of it as well.
Yeah, Top Gun / Top Gun Maverick. Because for me, it's all one story. And Maverick, they were so smart with Maverick. Everything that worked for Top Gun, you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maverick is Top Gun set in later years. The opening sequence is the same. The beach volleyball / football scene is the same. The music is the same. Everything, it was whatever worked in the first one, they put in the second one, yet somehow continued the story successfully. And it was just brilliant. And one of my favorite moments is the realization that Iceman is the one helping him behind the scenes. It's a touching send off to Val Kilmer, and their friendship in real life. Yeah, it's just a beautiful movie and a huge continuation of the original. So I had to lump them together as all one movie. But yeah, my number two, Top Gun / Top Gun Maverick, definitely both outstanding films. And if you haven't seen them, what the fuck? See them. they're fantastic. And a third one is coming. A third one is coming. It is in development, so they say, from Tom Cruise and Glenn Powell. So we'll see.
That's right, man. That's right. And my number one film goes to Show Me the Money, Jerry Maguire, man. I just watched this one maybe 6 or 7 years ago for
So
the first
good.
time. And like, this is peak, like, prime time Tom Cruise, like, in prime of his life, prime of his career, before like he is like on top of the world, but he is a face and a name that everyone knows. I mean, him and Renee Zellweger and Cuba Gooding Jr. in this film are absolutely amazing. And let's be honest about it, it's an underdog story.
It
An
is.
agent who basically like got fired or left his agency and went independent and tried to continue building his legacy, his empire, and to continue moving forward in the sports industry, but while also having a love story behind it as well. It was really good. I love the dynamic between him and Renee when it comes to like just trying to balance each other's work and home life and trying to realize who each other is before like getting too far into something. But then, of course, you fall in love. There's a happy ending. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, I mean, there's so many quotables in this movie, and like, I feel like this movie is very inspiring for people who are chasing a dream because it does show you the pitfalls, but then it does show you the highs, the successes, the the amount of work that you put into it, and being able to get that gratification at the end of all your hard work. And I think that's what this film did beautifully. So yeah, number one for me, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, this film is the epitome of risk. It's
Yeah.
all about taking a risk, taking the leap, and knowing that the net will appear, that you're going to be okay. And that's exactly what that movie was. And yeah, it's a phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie. My number one is a beautiful film from start to finish. This is a filmmaker's dream visually. My number one, it remains the same. It will never change. It will always be my favorite Tom Cruise movie, The Last Samurai. It's basically about a captured Civil War captain who goes over to Japan and gets captured. And his purpose was he was there to train the Japanese military on how to use modern weaponry, guns, okay? Because this movie is about the fall of ancient Japan and the westernization of Japan. The new young emperor wants to move into the 20th century. He wants to, modernize Japan, move away from the dynasty type system, if you will. And it is an epic war between the last of the samurai and the Japanese army. And Tom Cruise's character, after being captured, learns the culture of the samurai, the way of the samurai in ancient Japan, and what it means and where the country came from and all this. It was Shogun before Shogun. Put it that way. It's beautiful cinematography. It's beautiful acting. It's visually. You can watch this movie without a single word of dialogue and understand everything you need to understand. And basically, Tom Cruise's character flips, and instead of training the army, helps the samurai fight off the war. They lose brutally in the end. Shocker. Gatling machine guns will outdo swords every time, but it's an epic battle. It's just, I love this movie. I love the ancient Japanese culture. I love what they stand for and how they do things and the pride they take in the way they live their lives and their belief systems and stuff. And this is just peak. As a filmmaker, like I said, I can't rant enough about this movie. It's so beautiful. Go and watch it. It's just epic scenery and just love this movie. It'll always be my favorite. Last Samurai.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Still need to watch that one. Still have not
you'll love
caught
it.
that
Trust
one.
me, you'll love it. So
For
good.
sure. But we want to know, what is your favorite Tom Cruise film? Be sure to comment below in the comment section, on Twitter, X, Threads, all the good places. Please be sure to do that. We love the fan interaction. Please let us know your favorite Tom Cruise film.